This week on Channel 8 News, we'll take a look at the Northwest Dance Company, Zoom with Ben Seidman, and more. Your Channel 8 News starts right now. Thank you for tuning in to Channel 8 News. I'm Courtney Rowe. Last Thursday, a teach-in series discussing race and social injustice issues was continued in Volk. Colby Holtman has the story.
Here at Northwest, the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences hosts a special event called Occupy Volk, which is a teaching series where a different history faculty member presents a political and social justice issue along with its historical context regarding race in America. Tonight's event is hosted by Dr. Elisa Ford, whose presentation is titled Show Me the Money or Not, the New Slave System of College Sports. I got the chance to interview Dr. Ford after her presentation to get a little more insight on this issue.
So how did you come up with this topic? Like, what made you think that this would be a good thing to present to all these people that came out here tonight?
Yeah, so when we, as the historians, we met over the summer to think about what were the different types of talks that we would want to do. And since I do things on sport, I thought, well, I'll do sport. This just kind of came to my mind as something that I know about, I'm interested in, and I know is controversial. And I thought we kind of engage people. And so we also had it in the weeks leading up to homecoming. So it would be more timely if we had sports on campus right now. Exactly. And so kind of for those reasons, I knew it would be something that would kind of hopefully pique people's interests.
Can you elaborate more on how the university exploits students by considering them athletes before students? Yeah.
And so this is, again, I'm not saying that all universities do this. But it is a concern that is raised by a lot of scholars and by a lot of students. And I think a lot of people would argue overall that it is hard to even just balance that kind of where you are as a student or athlete. What are you here to be? Or if you're getting a scholarship, that's the thing that's paying you to be here, so do you have to focus more on that part? Now, which can really kind of detract from what you're able to do in terms of academics.
For those interested in attending one of these sessions, check the Northwest calendar for future meetings. These meetings are every Thursday at 7 p.m. here at the Volk Center, or you can catch the live stream at Northwest Humanities and Social Sciences Facebook page. This has been Colby Holtman with Channel 8 News.
Thanks, Colby. Last Friday, SAC hosted a live and interactive comedian and magician show starring Ben Seidman on Zoom. Craig McMullen has more.
On Friday, September 25th, comedian and magician Ben Seidman did a virtual show over Zoom for Northwest students. The show was originally going to be held at the Performing Arts Center, but due to COVID, they had to move the show to Zoom. After the show, I got the chance to talk to Ben about how he got into comedy and magic.
I've been doing magic since I was a kid. I learned a magic trick when I was like 6 years old, and I saw someone pull a coin out of my mom's ear, and I was like, I don't know what that was, but I need more of that in my life. I think from that initial moment where I just saw magic and heard comedy, like I think at those various points in my life, just having that feeling myself as an audience member, just experiencing that huge amount of joy, and I was just like, I don't know, when I experienced that, I was like, I want to give that to other people. And
yeah. Did the comedy come first, or did the magic come first for you?
It was definitely magic first. I loved stand-up as soon as I got into George Carlin early on.
Yeah.
And, Carlin just like totally blew my brain open.
Yeah. Ben spends a lot of time practicing his acts to perform.
Yeah.
So I put in, tens of thousands of hours into getting it to where it is right now.
Yeah.
So the preparation thing, that happens early on, and then when it's a newer piece, I will work on it sort of sporadically, but both in front of an audience and then also tinkering by myself, working on the technique.
You can follow Northwest Missouri State's University Student Activities Council on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more upcoming shows and performances. And you can follow Ben on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube for more of his comedy and magic. This has been Craig McMullen reporting for Channel 8 News.
Thanks, Craig. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the events happening around the Northwest campus. Don't go away. Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Courtney Rowe. Many classes on campus are using Zoom to mix their classes both in person and online. Now there is a new feature to make it more accessible to its users. Zoom is making their video meeting app more accessible to those with disabilities. New features have been put in place for the hearing impaired and visually impaired. One feature allows users to reorder Zoom video chat windows. Zoom says this allows users to place windows with sign language interpreters directly by whoever is speaking. Users can now also adjust the size of the text used in closed captioning. And the app has expanded its keyboard shortcuts and changed its interface so those who are losing their vision can log in without a mouse. Despite new changes with COVID-19, the Northwest Dance Company is still in full swing. Brooke Ingram has more.
Dance company auditions have begun, and many changes have been made from past years. President of Dance Company, Gabrielle Wagner, has some insight onto what their new audition process looks like.
So this year, normally we have 2 days of tryouts. Wednesday, everybody will come in and learn the dances and the styles they want to. This year we had to do completely virtual, so everybody was learning the dances through Facebook or YouTube, which is definitely a lot trickier than doing it in person. But Thursday, it's looking pretty much the same. We just have scheduled times rather than everybody being here all at once. So.
Third-year dancer Megan Webb gives some insight as to what it's been like going through dance company auditions while still having to follow COVID guidelines.
With tryouts, we had to learn it online, so that was a bit difficult, but yeah, we got the videos last night and we learned them online over video. And then this year, instead of just being assigned a letter and they go down the whole entire alphabet, we had to sign up prior for a specific time, so not everyone is here at once.
Choreographer Rachel Danforth tells us what rules and regulations have been set into place for the dancers while auditioning.
Well, for Dance Company, we have 10 girls per dance, and our numbers are going to look very, very small compared to last year's, and we're also splitting the show into 2 nights. So it's going to be a Thursday and Friday in November. And also, we are trying to limit contact with girls on stage, as well as they're all going to wear masks, and it's just going to look a little bit differently in those areas.
Rachel says that she is grateful that Dance Company is still able to have in-person auditions, and she looks forward to the rest of the process. This has been Brooke Ingram reporting for KNWT Channel 8.
Thanks, Brooke. More than 148 million American adults plan to take part in Halloween-related activities this year, according to an annual survey by the National Retail Federation. But this week, the CDC put out new guidelines urging people to celebrate safely. CNN has more in today's Health Minute. It used to be the time of year where masks were worn for fun, not for necessity. But COVID-19 will change Halloween this year. If you're trying to figure out how to celebrate, the CDC has new guidelines on that, saying many traditional Halloween activities can spread the virus. The agency is asking people to avoid doing things in what it deems to be in the high-risk category, including traditional door-to-door trick-or-treating, indoor costume parties, hay rides, and haunted houses with people who aren't members of your household. Some activities on the moderate list include one-way trick-or-treating, where goodie bags are lined up at the distance for families to grab and go, having a small group outdoor open-air costume parade where people are distanced more than 6 feet apart, visiting pumpkin patches or orchards with hand sanitizer, social distancing, and masks. But if you want to celebrate and face the lowest risk, the CDC offers these alternatives to traditional Halloween. Carving or decorating pumpkins with your family or outside at a safe distance with your neighbors or friends, decorating where you live, doing a Halloween scavenger hunt, holding a virtual Halloween costume contest, or a movie night with your family. The agency says these will help you keep the holiday spirit and help slow the spread of COVID. The CDC says anyone who has COVID-19 or has been exposed to someone who has it should not participate in in-person Halloween festivities and should not give out candy to trick-or-treaters. When we come back, we'll take a look at some more recent news and events. Don't go away. Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Courtney Rowe. COVID-19 is still affecting us, but there is some good news in all of it. As of September 25th, there are only 5 active cases on campus. The numbers have gone down, meaning the in-person classes could end up going longer than originally planned. However, having a steady employment is becoming harder to keep. The U.S. Labor Department reports 870,000 more Americans filed for first-time unemployment last week. As stimulus talks have essentially stalled in Washington, last week's figure, which is seasonally adjusted, is up very slightly from the previous week. Another 12.6 million Americans filed for continued jobless claims last week, down a bit from the week before. Americans also filed for benefits under the government's other programs, such as the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups will be getting a new addition in the near future. This year has been far from sweet, so Reese's is embracing the salty side of life and adding pretzels to its peanut butter cups. The Hershey's candy brand says that the new treat will hit stores in November, and there'll be a permanent addition to the Reese's lineup. The candy giant is nervous about how COVID-19 will affect Halloween, so they've lined up some tasty treats to look forward to after the holiday. Smartphone users will be seeing many more emojis in the upcoming future. Get ready for some new emojis. The Unicode Consortium announced it's releasing more than 200 animated figures. They include a bandaged heart and a heart surrounded by flames, which can either refer to heartbreak or heartburn. There are also 3 variations of a gender-neutral character. The nonprofit Unicode Consortium originally said it didn't plan to release new emojis in 2021 due to the pandemic. The updated emojis are expected to be available for your cell phone sometime between January and October of next year. A full Emoji 14.0 is scheduled to be released in 2022. Well, that's all the news we have for Channel 8 News. For stories that matter to you, catch Channel 8 News every Monday through Thursday at 6:15 p.m. right here on KNWT Channel 8. From all of us here at Channel 8 News, I'm Courtney Rowe, and have a great night.